All right, so let's get started here. Take a moment to just really rest down into the ground. The knees are bent, the feet hip width apart, hands resting on your tummy. Lengthen the back of your neck, let your shoulders relax back, and feel your breath just on its own as you relax. You feel the movement of your breath. Take a moment just to do that. Now we're going to begin to deepen that movement. So could you feel your tummy gently lifting up and down with your breath? We're going to move with that. As we breathe in, let the tummy rise up into your hands. And as you do that, rock your pelvis forwards, arching your lower back. And as you breathe out, rock your pelvis back. Feel your tummy sinking down into the body, lengthening the lower back. Let's bring the arms to the ground and do that one more time. Breathing in, feel the belly, perhaps even the ribs and chest expand as you rock the pelvis forwards, and then rock it back with your exhale. Start to bring in that ujjayi sound here if you can. We'll rock it forwards one more time. We're going to start to bring it up into a bridge on our exhale. So rock your pelvis back and then peel your tailbone up, lift your hips. Start to peel up through your back. This is all on your exhalation. Get up into your bridge. Take a breath in. Lengthen the tailbone towards the knees. And then slowly breathing out. Spread the shoulders, roll your spine down. One bone at a time all the way to the floor, and then we'll breathe in, rock the pelvis forwards, and then off we go again. Rocking the pelvis back, breathing out, lift the hips, lift the arms with you. Peel the spine up off the floor, extending into that bridge. So we stay here, take a breath in, reach the fingers one way, the tailbone the other, and then breathing out, roll it on down. Arms coming with you as you pour your spine down. Great, so we're keeping it going. Couple more times. Rocking forwards on that inhale, bring the arch to the lower back, and on your exhale, start to rise up. So you want to keep your feet nice and active. Keep the arches of your feet lifting. Stay in your bridge as you breathe in. And then pour it all down as you breathe out. And one way I find really helps me to keep the feet really active is to lift just the toes. Okay, so you might try that on this round. As you exhale, press into the balls of the feet and the heels and let the toes lift. And see how that feels. Really activates the arches of your feet. Stay here, press into the balls of your feet as you breathe in. And breathing out slow, ujjayi breath as you bring it all back down. So you can keep the toes up or down, whatever feels good, but keep the arches of your feet lifting. We're going up one more time. Bring the arms with us, rising right up into that bridge. And then stay here, but just bring your arms one at a time down by your sides. We're going to play around here for a moment. Get right up on your shoulders. Interlace your fingers. Keep your breath flowing and move with it. So you can let your hips have a little sway side to side, even lifting one side of the pelvis and then the other. So you're bringing like a little twist almost to the lower back, very subtle. And then press into the feet and lift up even higher. Get right up on your shoulders. Open the front body. Then get ready to bring it on down. Spread the hands apart, the shoulders apart. Now breathing slowly. Lower down, one bone at a time, into the floor. Breathing in when you're down, rock your pelvis forwards. And as you breathe out, draw both knees into your body here. And give yourself a little hug, a little rock. And then we'll put the left foot on the floor with the knee bent, cross your right leg over it. And this is always nice after a bridge where you've really activated your glutes. Kind of a pigeon pose here. So we lift the foot off the floor if you can and bring your hands around the back of the left leg. So right hand between the two legs. Breathing out, draw your leg in deeper. Elbow against your right leg to persuade that hip to open. So we breathe in and we let it move away a little, and as we breathe out, draw it in deeper. And just remember, if it's too much, you can keep your foot on the floor or even on a block there. We'll take one more breath. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, just slip the fingers around the shin and hug it in a little bit more. Lovely. Let it go. We'll take that to the other side. So right foot on the floor and the left leg crosses over. Let's check in with that left hip. Bring your right foot up off the ground and take the hands around the back of your right thigh. So again, just make sure, because I often see it in class that people bring the left arm around the outside of the leg. It's in between the two, okay? And then the elbow, as you bring your right leg in with your hands, your elbow can press against the left leg. So you encourage that outward rotation through your hip. As we breathe in, let's ease it off a little bit. And as we breathe out, draw it in all the way through your exhale, easing it a little deeper. If you want to bring your fingers over your shin here, if that's available, you could. Remember, you can modify, you can keep your foot on the floor. It's not about what you can do, it's just about making yourself feel better, easing out whatever you can. Let it go now. And just let both knees come into the body for a moment. Take your arms out wide and then breathe out. Drop your knees over to the left. Make that right angle with your legs, so feet below your knees, and put your hand there on your top leg. That's just an option. I like it to bring a bit of weight into the legs. Now, could you roll your head over to the right? Now, what you can also do, a little tiny modification that you might like that I kind of stumbled on yesterday when I was teaching the class in the morning. You could put blocks under, or a block under the legs. So if you find in that twist your shoulders a mile off the floor, it might feel more comfortable to have that support there. So it's just an option you might like. Let's bring it back to the middle as we breathe in. So if you were doing that option, just stick a block the other side of you. Drop your legs over to the right. Make that right angle again. So you have that little bit of support for your legs if you want it. Hand on the legs and then roll the left shoulder back. Now, you really don't have to do that propping if things are fine as they are. Just be as you are. Now, whatever you've chosen here, take this chance to go inside. Feel your breath. Can you hear the ujjayi sound in your throat? And if not, let's just do one through the mouth, like we're fogging a mirror. We might do that anyway. So breathing in, breathing out, fog that little mirror. Come back to the middle and draw the knees into your body, hugging in. Lovely. Stretch your legs out long on your mat and your arms overhead. I'm just kind of rolling around here because I got to clip that mic back on. Okay, so legs out long, arms overhead. Let's take a big breath in. And then breathing out, lift the hands, lift the head, wake up, up we come. Oh, I always feel about 20 years older than I am when I come up there. Breathe in. Nice big breath. That's why we're doing it, isn't it? We breathe out, bow forwards, and absolutely feel free to bend your knees for that forward bend. Breathe in. We'll take about 5 years off now as we roll this down again. Count down the years. Breathe in, take the arms overhead, and then breathe out, up we come. Hands first, head first. See, so much easier. Why is that first one every time like, what? I can't do that. And now bow it on forwards into your forward bend. Let's do 3 more. So breathing in, breathing out. I feel like maybe it's the rolling down where your tummy muscles go, oh, right, oh, us. Yeah, we can do it. On an out breath, you bring your hands up, your head up, and then they just cooperate and bring you up. And fold it forwards. Remember, you can always grab the sides of the legs to help you over that tricky part. Breathe in. Just know that every time rolling down, we come here and we do this, we're making a change. We're, whether it's improving or even just not disimproving, which is all that's going to happen if we're not doing it. And we breathe out, bring it forwards. I think it's improving. One more time. Bring it up, but don't be disillusioned if there are days or certain postures where you just feel like, oh, I can't. Don't give up. Breathe out, hands up, head up. Breathe in, and then we're going to bow forwards. And in our forward bend here, we're going to stay a little longer. So you can just finish the round that you're on at your own pace. Well done, that's perfect. And then just bow gently forwards. Now again, we're all different. Some people's hamstrings are pretty flexible, some not at all. Bend your knees if you need to, and enjoy the forward bend. Big breath in, long breath out. Breathe in and come up. Okay, we're going to swing the legs around behind us. Come on to all fours. Now, cat and cow, our favorites. Breathe in, lift the head, lift the tailbone. I even feel in this movement that the wrists get a little stretched. Can you guys still hear me? Is it okay? Yeah? Okay, cool. Now round your back, tuck your tailbone, bow your head. Good. Let's go a couple more times. So breathing in, lengthening open, perfect. And then rounding in, exhale. You could bring your hips back a little bit if you want to bring that into the lower back a little. One last time, inhale. Now at least on our exhale, let's see if we could create that ujjayi sound. So you could let the breath go through your mouth or your nose, kind of closing off your throat a little bit and creating a whispering sound from there. I'm going to breathe in one more time into cow. As we breathe out, turn the right palm to face up and slide that hand past the left wrist. Come into a little kneeling twist here. You can come up onto the left fingertips and lift the elbow above your wrist, or if you prefer, and either one is perfect, stretch your hands straight out ahead of you. They're just two options, neither one better than the other. Go with what feels good today. Draw a little bit back through the right hip. And take one more breath. Support yourself with that left hand now as you bring yourself back up and over to the other side. So you turn your left palm up, slide it past the right wrist, coming down as low as you can. So for some, it might feel better to stay with the shoulder off the floor and keep the support in the right hand. Or else we can come right down onto the shoulder, side of the head, and then take your option that works for you. Are you going to keep your right fingertips there in front of your face, elbow above, or stretch the arm long, straight ahead of you? Either way, go inside and feel the breath here. One more breath, and as you exhale in it, draw back a little bit through the left hip. Just kind of evening up the base. And then bring it on back up and onto all fours. Breathe in, lift the head, lift the tailbone. Breathe out, round your back. Bring your big toes together as you draw your hips back towards your heels. Take your knees wide. Long breath in as you stretch out long into your fingertips. Settle here. And then just slide the left arm down towards you a little bit. And your right arm across your mat. So you're reaching towards the top left corner, sitting back onto the heels, and rest your head against the arm. Okay, so if you're not crazy about this child's pose stretch and it's too much for your feet, you can modify this to the one that we often do up on your knees and your hips above your knees. That works as well. Okay, so the one that you like the best. Okay, let's take one more breath. And then draw that arm down towards you, your forearm on the floor. Reach your left arm over your mat. Now, as we lean the head against the left arm here and settle into the breath, On your out breath, just kind of lean your weight a little bit into your left ribs. So breathing in, you can ease that off a little bit. And then as you breathe out, just kind of sway, lean into the left. Bring it on back up onto all fours. We're heading now towards our downward dog. So let's separate the knees and feet. Big breath in and cow. Press down through the hands. Tuck your toes, breathe out, draw your hips back, and up we come into downward dog. Lift your hips really high, and then work one or both heels towards the floor. So having done that little seated forward bend earlier, the backs of the legs might be okay with this. You've had a little warm up. We're going to breathe in and just take the hands forwards a little bit up the mat. Come forwards into plank. Breathe out, shift the heels to the left. Right hand to your heart. Big breath in as you reach your hand to the sky. Breathe out, bring it back and into plank. Take a breath in plank. Breathe out, heels to the right, left hand to the heart. If it's too much, you keep that hand down. Breathe in and lift the arm up. Press down through the feet to lift your hips. Great. Breathe out, back into plank and all the way down. Look forwards, Chaturanga. On your forearms, elbows on the floor under the shoulders, hands straight out ahead of you. Breathe in, open through the front body. It's amazingly effective for such a simple little back bend, isn't it? So take a moment here. You might want to give your neck and your head a little bit of movement, freeing up any tension you're holding there, or even just settle, lifting the crown of the head up to the sky and breathing length into the front body. Now we're going to breathe out and come on down, fingertips under your shoulders, and inhale, roll your shoulders back, hug your elbows in, rise in a little cobra. So we're going that bit higher. Bring it on down. Exhale, hands back by your ribs. Let's rise a little higher again. So we can keep the legs on the floor and even just give your hips a little sway here, turning around to look around. And then back to the middle on your knees and downward dog. Take a moment in downward dog. Breathe in, rounding your back a little bit like you were coming forwards to plank, but then breathe out, bend your knees, pull your hips back, your body to your legs, lift your hips high and heels towards the floor. Great. Walk your hands back towards you and bring your hands against your shins. Breathe in, look up and lengthen. Breathe out, bow it on down. Uttanasana, soften your knees. Stay here as you bow. Let your neck and head go. Breathe. Ujjayi breath. On an inhale, bend your knees and just start to roll your way up to standing. Arms and head hanging, they're coming last. And then open up to the sky. Breathe out, bring the hands down all the way to the heart center and pause. Notice how you feel here. Somehow, even though it's really kind of gentle what we're doing, just trying to wake ourselves up easy. I'm still getting really warm. That's good. Okay, so let's take the arms wide, lift up overhead. Breathe out, draw it down the midline, roll the head, arms hanging down, bow it on down, Uttanasana. Great. Hands against your shins, breathe in and look up. Breathe out, walk it on out all the way to downward dog. And bring your feet together. Breathe in and lift your right leg up. Stretch it out there. Breathe out, bring it on up between your hands. Now we're going to stay in a high lunge, and I'm also just going to have my blocks handy enough that I can grab them if I want them, okay? So breathe in, round in through the spine, and then breathing out, lengthen forwards and back, down and up, our 4 directions of lunge. Let's do it again. Breathing in, breathing out, ease in, a little bit deeper. Now lift yourself up and around to the side of your mat. Turn your toes slightly out. Breathe out, bend your left knee. So you're shifting the weight to the left. Good. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, bend the right knee. Perfect. Do it one more time to each side. Breathing out into that left side. Inhale. And over to the right. And remember that trick of lifting the toes. See what that would feel like for your feet. Come on back to the middle, breathing in. Right in the middle. Wiggle your feet a bit closer together. Come on up to standing. Okay, so we've got our feet turned halfway out, a little bit closer than they were. Hands on your hips. Breathe out, bend your knees like a wide leg squat. Not leaning forwards, just literally kind of sitting down. Breathe in, come up. And then breathe out, down we go. We'll give this a little side stretch. So stay here, let your left arm rest on your leg and reach your right arm up and over, open the side waist. Breathe out, come back to the middle, stay in the squat and rest the right arm on the leg. We breathe in and we let the left arm come up and over. There we go. And then back to the center, just squatting down for a sec. And then up we come, open the arms as you rise up all the way to standing. Now stay up. Bend your right arm, put your left hand on the elbow. Just draw your right hand down to your spine there. Let the left arm come out and turn it around behind your back. Now don't worry if they don't meet, just go easy. Hands against your back, it doesn't matter. Take a breath in. If they meet, certainly clasp the hands, but don't worry. Breathe out, bend your knees. Perfect. Stay here, take another breath. As you breathe out, in we go a little deeper. We're going to give this one more breath. So inhale in that squat and then exhale down a little deeper. Perfect. Come on up and release your hands as you breathe in. So arms out wide. Breathe out. Stay up, but just bend your left elbow. Right hand on the elbow here. Perfect. Breathe in. Let the right arm come out to the side and swivel it around and up onto your back. If the hands meet, grand. If they don't worry. Big breath in, just hands against your back is perfect. Breathe out and squat down. Good, now we're just going to stay in that squat, but let the breath move you. So there's a little rise as you breathe in, and then a deepening as you breathe out. Perfect. Feel the wave of the breath and go with it. One more wave of breath. So you're not struggling to hold it, you're moving with that breath. Brilliant. Come on all the way back up with the inhale. Let the arms come out wide. Breathe out, hands to your hips, turn your feet in a bit, but you could take them a little bit wider if you like. Breathe in, open the chest. Now come forwards as you breathe out. And here's where you may want those blocks. You don't have to, but if you want them, you put them under your shoulders on the ground. Obviously, where else would they be, Cara? Breathe in and look forwards. That's it, lengthen your spine. So yeah, exactly, just staying there with that length in your spine. Move your left hand with your block, if you're using it, closer to the midline. And then breathe in, lift the right arm up to the sky. So with or without a block, it doesn't matter, okay? Breathe in, twist open. Breathe out, come down, change hands. So right hand down. Inhale and lift, left arm up into that twist. Good. Breathe out, relax here. As we breathe in and go a little deeper, lengthen the crown of the head forwards. Find that comfort in your neck. And then breathe out, bring it on back down, hands to the floor or your blocks. Now imagine you're pulling your hands towards you to draw your chest out long ahead of you. And then breathing out, walk your hands back around to the front of your mat and come into a lunge here again. Okay, good. Breathe in, coil in, breathe out in. We go a little deeper. 4 directions of lunge. Step it on back into plank as you breathe in. Lower down as you breathe out. Inhale on your fingertips, rise in cobra. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, hands back by the ribs, rising up, upward dog or thereabouts. Back on your knees, breathe out, downward dog. Lovely, bring your feet together. Breathe in and lift the left leg up. So you can keep it straight if you like. Lift it as high as it'll go. And then coil in to bring your foot up between your hands into a high lunge here on this side. So we breathe in, coiling in, breathe out, push the back heel back, send the chest and head forwards and feel what's happening in your hips. So one more time like that, coiling in and then breathing out, hips moving down, lift the back leg up. Shift around to the right side of your mat, turning your feet halfway out, and then breathing out, bend your right knee. So we bring it up as we breathe in, we bend the left knee as we breathe out. We're going one more time to each side. Exhale. Keep the arches of the feet lifting, and what that'll do as we exhale is it'll protect your knee. Your knee will bend in the direction of your toes. Now come to the middle again. So we come back to the middle, we wiggle the feet a bit closer, turn the heels in, come on up to standing. We're going to do that same kind of squat, different thing with the arms. So breathe in here, hands on the hips, and just practice that squat for a sec. Breathe out, bend the knees and sit down. Great. Now come up, inhale, arms wide, and this time Garudasana arms. Bring your right elbow under the left, wrap the hands around each other, and as you're ready, exhale, squat down. Good. So breathing in, lifting the elbows, pressing the hands away from the face, and then breathing out, squat a little deeper. Good. Let's give ourselves one more breath here. So don't struggle. Feel like you can rise a little, perfect. And then down deeper. Well done. Now let the arms go as you come up. Take them out wide. Breathe out, left elbow under the right, and let's go straight into it. Squat down. Perfect. Stay with it. Breathing in, let the elbows lift, let the hands move away. Breathe out, squat a little deeper. So we're staying in the squat, but we're not just like holding it and trembling. Breathe in, ride your breath, rising a little. Breathe out, down we go. Lovely, all the way up, breathe in. Arms out wide, turn your toes in, your heels out, interlace your fingers behind now. So breathe in, lift through your chest, open the shoulders back. Now bow it on down, letting the hands come off your back. Bow your head to the floor. Feel free to bend your knees a little bit if you like here, but don't worry about the head or anything touching the floor. Just try to, engage your legs really strong from the feet all the way to the sit bones. Not locking out the knees, just using the strength of your legs. One more breath. As you breathe out, easy. Let go of some of that effort. Breathe in and come all the way up. Head first, rise all the way. And then we turn back over the left leg to the front of the mat and into that lunge. Well done. Now, breathe in, step back, lower down, Chaturanga. And this time, let's bend the knees, interlace the fingers. Breathe in and lift in this modified bow. Breathe out, straight legs. Let the hands go and reach back. Big breath in, reach. Breathe out, hands by your ribs. Inhale, press down and rise only as high as you want to go. Take your time, open up. Now either lift your hips and roll over your toes or go back over your knees. Downward dog. Breathe. Settle here. Feel that inhale. Create a little rounding through your back. And then bend the knees a little bit. Exhale, draw the hips back and up and heels towards the earth. Now let's just walk the feet forwards a little bit. Hands back towards the legs. Breathe in. Ardha Uttanasana, look up. Breathe out, bow it on down. Grab your big toes with your first two fingers and thumb. So you're making a loop. If you're not familiar with this one, I'll show you up close. You bring your first two fingers between your big toe and the next one, under your toe, and then the thumb joins. Can you see that little loop? Okay, so you do that on both sides, and then drop the elbows out. Okay, so let's stay with this for a moment.
As you breathe in, straighten the arms, lift the head, lengthen your spine. It's a bit like Ardha Uttanasana. And then breathe out, bend the arms, bow your head. Breathe here. And the thing is just to hang out here, just to stay deep in your breath. And any tension in the upper back or neck just starts to flow out, seep away. At least one more breath. If this feels amazing for you, stay with it. Otherwise, we're going to get ready to come out of it by just letting go with the hands. Bring the fingertips to the floor, breathe in and look up. And then wiggle your feet a little bit wider apart and come towards a squat. Bending your knees, hands against the insides of your knees. I want to offer you something here. If your heels don't stay on the floor when you go a bit deeper, put a block under each heel, or you can use like a rolled up towel or anything like that. See how the squat feels when you do that. And you have that bit of support for the heels. That might really help. So we're going to take one more breath here. Lifting, coiling, rounding in, and then easing down as deep as you want to go into that squat. Now stay with it. Last breath. Very good. Bring your hands down to the floor. Lift your hips up. If you're on blocks, just step off them. We're going to walk it on back out into downward dog just for a moment. And come on down onto your knees and sit back, rest in child's pose. And finally, we'll come on to the floor for a spinal twist. So yeah, let's just do that. We'll get our Shavasana stuff after that. So to begin with, just sit up tall, legs out ahead of you, arms out long, and then we're going to breathe out, roll it down just like we did earlier, super slow. And then bring your right knee into your body. Feels great, doesn't it? Right arm out to the side and then draw the leg over to the left. So hand on your knee and you bring it across. That's it. So remember, I was showing you earlier with the block. You can do that again here. Rest your leg on a block. Maybe your foot as well. You know, just kind of play around with that. Lately, I've kind of rediscovered all these blocks can do for you. Let's take another breath. Ease the shoulder back. Great. Come on back to the middle. Last little squeeze of that leg. Bring the other one in. So we're going to stretch the right leg out long. The left leg comes in. And as you're ready, bring it across and into a twist here. So you have your hand on the outside of your knee. You draw it over. I'm going to show you with the blocks what you can do in case you like it. Just like that, little prop. And then it sort of leaves the shoulder a little bit freer to come down to the floor. So just if it feels good, if it feels limiting, then there's no point. Okay, let's settle in, find the breath. Back to the middle now as you're ready. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, just squeeze your knee in. A little hug. Let's bring the other knee in as well. So we're bringing both knees into the body. Hugging in. Honestly, your back is so grateful for all of this. All right. So if you're ready for Shavasana, you can just stretch the legs on out long on the mat there. Spread the arms apart. Ooh, relax and let go. If you need your blankets, your jumpers, things like that, Roll over to your side. Now go easy in your transition. As you come up, get what you need, set yourself up, make sure that you're warm enough. Put that blanket over you. There's something very comforting, I think, just about a blanket covering you. Even, I mean, when we've done yoga in hot places, you might put like, you know, sarong over you or something really nice about that covering, you know. And of course you don't have to. I also love the feeling that you can just flake out straight from the last pose. Okay. Take a moment now to get everything right. Evie said the other day, she's like, morning yoga is so nice because people, they get to have a lie down at the end again, you know, and like if I was doing it, I would do it in my bedroom. And then for Shavasana, I would get back into bed. I said, oh, it's okay, but then you'd have to do the getting up all over again. So I wouldn't really advise that, but if it's the evening, maybe. Anyway, I thought it was pretty cute. So we have the whole body resting on the floor. Make sure you feel nice and supported. Any niggles in your lower back, I would prop the legs a little bit. Relax your breath and feel it now at its own rhythm. Remember right at the beginning of the practice, we were lying down and we just took that moment to feel the breath do its own thing. We're back here now. So let go of the control and listen in. So stay with that awareness of your breath and notice if your mind is inclined to wander. And just keep drawing it back to your breath. It's absolutely amazing, isn't it? How far your mind can go in the course of a few seconds. Keep training it back to your breath. Now begin to notice the feeling in your body as we begin to ease down a little deeper. Feel the weight of your head. Notice how you feel, if there's much activity going on there. It depends, I mean, what's going on in your life. And we have times where we're very distracted. There's something constantly talking to you. Notice what it is. And if that is happening, what I would do is pretend to stick a label on it. Give it a simple title and imagine then letting it go like a balloon into the sky. Just let it go. Stick a label on it and let it go. You know it'll come back to you when it's a more appropriate time. For now, it's almost like saying, I hear you, I'll deal with it, not now. Let it go. And then bring your awareness back to your breath and feel the physical weight of your head sink down deeper as we let go of the activity in the head. Let the whole weight of the head drop down. Feel the effect this has on your neck and your shoulders. Take a moment to feel the breath in the chest, in the upper back, in the shoulders. Ease your shoulders back and down and allow that sense of ease to spread down through your arms as they let go into the floor beneath. Soften your hands and fingers. And feel the breath now in your body. Feel your back ease a little deeper towards the floor as you feel the breath moving your back, moving your chest, your ribs, your belly.
Let the breath do its thing and your body respond, easing down. Feel the breath in the lower belly. Feel the hips, the sacrum, easing into the floor, heavier now. Let go. Let go from the hips, deep in the hip sockets. Feel your legs release. Notice the feeling in your thighs. Imagine the muscles of your thighs loosening their grip on the bones becoming heavier. Breathe and feel where your calves meet the support of the ground, your heels. Breathe and feel the sensations in your feet, in your toes. Feel your whole body letting go, whole body breathing. Notice the world around you. Notice the sounds that you can hear. Feel that sense of calm and stillness within yourself as you take in the movement, the energy around you, however big or small that might be. We're going to prepare to bring ourselves back from here now, very gently. Feel into your body. Imagine your fingers and toes are about to move. And then feel it as the fingers and toes begin to move. Feel it. And feel the movement gradually start to extend into the arms and legs. So let it happen in its own natural way and stay with it. Feel and notice how your body moves itself to wake up. Eventually, let one or both knees come into your body, hugging in. And rolling off to your side, come on up to sitting. And when you come all the way up, take a moment with the hands together at your heart center. Close your eyes. Listen in. Notice how you feel. Knowing that it changes every time. Nothing's forever. What's there today? And let something come to mind now that you feel grateful for. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. I feel very grateful.